The truth is that as long as we live within the boundaries of our freaking minds, you and I are really a lot like everybody else. There is a group that is very small in number, a tiny minority that sees the world differently. It is they who really make history. Joining that small group and becoming part of that 1% isn't in talent or luck, it's in your own eyes. In this video, we'll talk about what it takes to break free from the limits of your own mind and start seeing the world differently, just like that small group who makes real change happen. Welcome to Be the Glow. Read books. I can't tell you how much reading has shifted my perspective on life. I feel like my mind has been cranked open ever since I began reading. This year, I'm about to read my 40th book, which feels incredible. Not only do I feel more knowledgeable, but the degree of the ideas I have had has completely been transformed. I've picked up business books, fiction, self-help, and travel to broaden my perspectives on life. There are so many life hacks, ideas, and challenges to each of the books I've chosen. Reading can be tricky, so finding good books is essential. For me, 2 books really stand out and have totally changed how I think. The first one is 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna Wiest. I talked about it in this video. I'll leave it in the description, so check it out. What's great about this book is how easy it is to read and understand. The essays were originally published on Thought Catalog over the years, so each one feels like a little burst of insight. For me, reading 101 essays felt like a mental reset. It helped me understand that the way I think shapes everything that happens in my life. And if I change the way I think, I can change my life. Wiest does a great job of showing how simple shifts in thinking can lead to big changes in life. Another book that will deeply change the way you think is Life's Big Question. 50 Questions to Open Your Mind and See Things Differently. This is my own ebook, and it's all about exploring the big, important questions in life. Those questions that we often avoid but really need to face if we want to grow and understand ourselves better. I wrote this ebook because I believe asking the right questions can completely change how you see the world. This isn't just another self-help book telling you what to do. It gives you the tools to think for yourself and find your own path forward. If you're feeling lost, uncertain, or just want to understand life a little better, this book is for you. Link in the description below so you can check it out. Ask better questions. The questions you ask yourself shape the way you think and ultimately the way you live. It's not just about having the answers. It's about making sure you're asking the right things. When you ask better questions, you get better answers, which leads to better decisions and a better life overall. In my ebook, Life's Big Question, I included 50 of the deepest questions for you guys to open your minds and see things differently. Questions like, how to survive life? How can we find real and lasting happiness? You have yourself. Why do you think that's not enough? Why do some people leave? What's worth waiting for? Are you chasing happiness or running from pain? And much more. Asking these types of questions helps you break free from the limits of your current mindset. If you keep asking the same questions over and over, you're going to get the same answers. But when you start asking different questions, you will absolutely get so much better results. Rewire the stories you tell yourself. Do you realize you're telling yourself stories? We all tell ourselves stories. Sometimes the stories are about how hard life is, how success feels impossible, or how we aren't good. But these are just stories, ones we've created based on our experiences and thoughts. What stories have you been telling yourself? Have you convinced yourself that you can't change, or that certain goals are out of reach? These stories might be holding you back more than you realize. If you keep repeating them, they become your reality. In my ebook, Life's Big Question, I explain that we all deserve a story that makes us proud, a story that we're excited to live. And it's okay if that means making some drastic edits. It's okay if that means scrapping entire chapters and starting anew. It's your life, your story. Be happy with it. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It doesn't matter what society expects. What matters is what you want your life to be. What matters is the story you want to tell. Practice thought detachment. Sometimes the problem isn't the thought itself, but how much power we give it. How many times have you allowed a negative thought to ruin your day? That's because you saw it as a command. There are a lot of stupid thoughts that come to your mind, and you treat them all as commands. Significantly reduce the power that negative thoughts have over you by learning how to detach from useless thoughts. This process is self-awareness. Look at the thought as an outsider does. Is it a good thought? A bad thought? Is it rational or irrational? The more importance or value we give the negative thought, the more power we give it. The more attention we give, the more time we spend on it, the more energy we waste on it. Why make things worse if we are already struggling? Do your thing. The world is changing with every piece you add. Keep working on the good stuff. All of these are things that you are eligible for, not the triggers from the negativity. Embody new ways of thinking. It's not enough to just intellectually change your thoughts. You must embody them. In 5 steps, you can actually change deeply held beliefs about yourself and the world. It often feels impossible to become a different kind of person, to become more confident, or to think in healthier ways. You are often set in your ways, so to speak, and don't believe it's possible to change. It's not. That's self-created and self-imposed limits speaking. You absolutely have it within you to embody new ways of thinking. After you've gone through the first 4 steps, reading books, asking better questions, rewiring the stories you tell yourself, and practicing thought detachment, you're left with being open to completely changing your mind and embodying new thoughts. You've said goodbye to the old pattern and hello to a new, higher pattern. Ideally, you now believe the new thought, but often that's not quite true. Or the new thought has its own limiting beliefs, so you can become trapped in a never-ending cycle. So you'll need to double-check to make sure the new thought has no ties or related limiting beliefs that would work against it. For deeper exploration into changing the way you think, check out my ebook, Life's Big Question: 50 Questions to Open Your Mind and See Things Differently. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. See you next video.